Index languages for video games. When a game developer wants to create a new and unique language for a game, oftentimes their goal is one geared towards world building. They want to sell the idea to the player that they have been transported to a strange or foreign environment, complete with its own history, rules, and logic, which you, the player, must conform to in order to succeed. The result is, hopefully, that the player is immersed and ready to suspend their disbelief and embrace the experiences that the developers hope to convey. We have already covered a few different ways that a game maker may play with language to bring character to a world. Expressing different dialects in the text or through voice acting can help a game's setting feel both more local, more unique, or more expansive, depending on how those accents are used. We have already looked at how fonts can be used to improve characterization in this series. We have even looked at how alphabetic ciphers can be used to add a ludic element to prose, encouraging players to engage with a game's prose in ways other than reading. Yet, one struggle that people creating alphabetic ciphers may face is having the language being treated as gibberish that needs to be corrected, rather than perceiving it as a unique language that needs to be learned. Any method a game writer may employ will have some limitations like this. After all, artificially creating a fully realized natural language is tantamount to a Herculean labor. To avoid this problem with alphabetic ciphers, one can employ a very similar method, an indexed cipher. An indexed cipher does to vocabulary words what alphabetical ciphers do to letters, placing whole words with a different word, yet keeping the workload light by maintaining the grammar and syntax. This is the method used by games like Greedfall, developed by Spider's Game Studio, in which whole words and phrases were written out for frequent repetition by characters from the Isle of Tir-Fadi, on which multiple tribes of NPCs with distinct yet loosely related customs shared a single language, clearly inspired by European colonialism and First Nations cultures of the United States. Spiders managed to create a multicultural setting that was well served by an indexed cipher language. I have learned since playing that the language of Tir-Fadi is in fact adapted from a Proto-Celtic language, which helps to explain the amazing stylistic consistency of the language in the game. In No Man's Sky, the way players are rewarded for interacting with the different alien species is through an indexed cipher of that alien's language. One word is awarded in a set order whenever the player solves a puzzle, has positive interaction with an alien of that species, finds a knowledge stone or an alien plaque, for a cheeky reference to the Rosetta Stone. All of these things. But while at first glance that may not seem like a terribly interesting way to have players interact with the language, No Man's Sky adds true texture to this system by having each of the 4 alien language indexes contain hundreds of words, and giving each language distinct characteristics, such as the Viking communicating mostly through body language with occasional vocalization, or the Gek, which communicate not just with sound, but with carefully controlled fragrances. If you don't want to go that far when you take on the task of creating an index cipher, consider bringing consistency to your vocab words by taking certain sections of language, like verbs, pronouns, or adjectives, and giving them similar prefix or suffixes. This can help create the image of unique conjugation rules without the expansive work of inventing the deeper nuances of a language. Stay true.